In my recent video on reused content, I asked viewers to let me know if they would like a video dedicated to the appeal process. Now, just over a week ago, a real-world example of this played out with a channel I was already familiar with called Cali Planes. Now, Cali Planes is primarily a live streaming plane spotting channel based out of California, mainly broadcasting from San Francisco and Los Angeles. The channel was removed from the YouTube partner program suddenly for reused content, which is really odd for a live streaming channel, but that happened nonetheless. The channel's moderators and viewers were certainly unhappy with YouTube's decision, and some of the mods reached out to me during a recent live stream.
You said, hello, thank you for answering these questions. Why does YouTube not tell you what you've supposedly have done wrong? Nothing they're saying is making a stance to why the channel was demonetized. Help.
Making sense. Makes sense,
Yeah,
I think that's supposed to be.
it
Yeah.
makes sense, yeah.
Now, it just depends on when you were demonetized, what did they say in the email? Usually they will indicate, or you can see this in your studio, if it's for a particular reason, like reuse content is one that comes up a lot, but there are some other ones. That sort of points you to the direction where you need to investigate and think what you think YouTube thinks that is wrong with your channel.
Vicky's come back with, they're saying that her stream was not being streamed live and that she was using reusing content, I'm going to assume that is, but she says that all of that is not true.
I haven't heard the stream one before. That's a new one to me.
No, me neither.
Like
Because
on the YouTube side.
Yeah, a lot of the softwares allow you to upload video to stream live.
Okay, yeah, I think Greg was mentioning earlier in my chat about asking about channels who are getting their memberships paused, and I just dropped a comment in the chat about that. So let me. Okay. I'll jump over and have a look at what he's saying there.
Bella Vicky saying that Greg and I are actually talking about the same stream. There are moderators on it. It happened suddenly. It's. So are you talking about that? So it's not your channel that this is happening on.
Oh, Cali Planes. I know Cali Planes. I know Cali Planes. I know the actual channel. They're the ones that got the wheel falling off the United 777 a few months ago, if I recall. They're the ones, and their footage went like across all the media outlets, and they picked it up. And
apparently, they did a review and it was denied.
I've got the community post up with all the information. Okay, so this is on Cali Planes' channel. There it is. There. Received a few emails asking why I paused membership. Okay, so he paused them himself. Okay, gotcha. Mm-hmm. So he had paused the memberships. No. I can see why he's paused the memberships.
He says, why I paused memberships? I didn't. I'm in YouTube exile. Yep.
Exile. Oh, okay. Yeah, I should just read the complete sentence. Gotcha. They removed from the partner program. Yeah, which is, once you get removed from the partner program, you can't do memberships and stuff. I don't do editing and reuse content. Yeah, since the beginning of the stream, you know that I go live. Yeah. Basically, you're filming like the planes, like landing, taking off, doing the whole thing. Like there's how many channels are out there doing it now? Like I watch a bunch of these channels myself. I'm a fan of them. So this is content that other people are doing, and it is very, very popular content. So this isn't like some edge case. This is like regular content that other channels are doing this exact same content. I've contacted YouTube several times, but it seems they have their mind made up and not willing to help out. They do not have any email address for comments, so if you can help me with writing YouTube a letter, information there. So this is the screen, suspended features. So everything's been suspended. Appeal didn't demonstrate enough value add editing.
I really want to reiterate that you have to do the reviews how YouTube want you to do the reviews. Getting 500 people to send a letter is not going to do anything. If YouTube wants a video explaining out how the content was made, you need to do it as a video, because we're playing in their ballpark. This is their place that they own, and we have to abide by how their processes and their rules. So they've created a few different options, which is the video review. If you've already done that and exhausted that, you can tag at Team YouTube and try and get help that way.
If you can reach out to Sal or tell him about making that video if he hasn't done that part already. So please, if you can pass it on to Sal, that'd be great. After some questions back and forth, I realised the situation and gave him some details to pass on to Sal, the channel owner. The next day, I jumped onto Twitter, also X, to get some attention from YouTube on this matter. Let them know there was an error made in removing Cali Planes from the YouTube partner program and asked them to take another look. At the same time, I was able to get in contact with Sal and give him some steps to take, as previous attempts to appeal this with YouTube fell on deaf ears. Now, this included having Sal make an appeal video. You may remember from my previous video, one reason that YouTube may apply reuse content to a channel is because they are not seeing any obvious signs of the content being made by the channel owner. Also, I know that a few months back, Sal had caught a breaking news story at San Francisco International Airport where the wheel of a United 777 fell off the plane on takeoff. The footage went viral across news broadcasts and many highlights channels on YouTube. Now, it could be that YouTube wasn't aware that Cali Planes was the original shooter of that footage. In the meantime, there was a Google product expert and also a staff of YouTube who contacted me and reached out to me to get more info, and then it was flagged to the right department at YouTube. Very next day, I woke up to the wonderful news that Cali Planes had been reinstated to the YouTube partner program. So, if it happened to you, what are the steps you should take to get the best chance of a successful appeal? Let's walk through the published appeal process from YouTube's help page, which I've linked down in the description. Now, you should only appeal if you believe that your YouTube partner program suspension or rejection was incorrect. In other words, you don't believe you meet any of the criteria for termination or suspension of your partner program membership. So that being the case, if you believe it was in error and you have some backup in there, so to speak, then you have two options to appeal. And that one, and the main one we're going to talk about, is a video appeal. And the other option is to contact creator support in YouTube Studio. Now, interestingly, when YouTube says that, when you're not in the YouTube partner program, you generally don't have access to the creator support from YouTube Studio. But we'll get into more of that later. Now, generally for any appeal, you need to take note of some of these points. You need to submit your appeal within 21 days of the suspension, and that date should be taken from what was shown in YouTube Studio next to the Start Appeal button in the Earn tab. And you should expect the teams to respond within 24 days with the decision. Probably be quicker than that. If successful, monetization or YouTube Partner Program approval will occur within 30 days. Now, if your appeal is rejected, you are invited to reapply for YouTube Partner Program after 90 days from the suspension date or the rejection date. So you have the 21 days to lodge your appeal. If you fail the appeal, you go, yeah, I've done the wrong thing. I need to wait out the appeal. I'm going to fix my channel and reapply. Then you got to wait 90 days for that now. Now, the most important thing you need to know, if you're doing an appeal, do not delete any videos from your channel. When a human reviewer reviews your channel, it must be in its current state in terms of an appeal. In other words, you're not trying to change anything about what your channel was doing at the time that your channel was removed, because you believe it's in error. If it's in error, then you don't need to make any changes. So leave it as is and do not delete. If they've seen that you've mass deleted videos because you're assuming that you've been removed for this, that, and the other, that doesn't apply to an appeal. That applies to your reapplication after 90 days. So keep that in mind. Now we're going to look at the video appeal guidelines. A video appeal must be a video only. You cannot put appeal information in the description of your appeal video, only in the video itself. Now, the video must be less than 5 minutes long. It must be uploaded as unlisted. It must be uploaded to the channel that you're appealing for the YPP to be reinstated. So you can't put it up on another channel and refer them to a link. It must be on the channel that has been removed. Now, the video itself must be narrated in the supported language like English or one of the other languages listed in the help article that I've linked below. Now, within the video, you must include the following. your channel URL within the first 30 seconds. You can put that up as a graphic across your video, something like that. So give your channel URL, first 30 seconds, somewhere in there. Now you need to refer to the specific YouTube Partner Program policy that they say that you breached, and show that you're in compliance. So when it comes to reused content, you can show yourself making the content, explain and walk through the process of making your content. Where need be, focus on the entire channel. Don't talk about how you did individual videos. Talk about broadly how you make content on your channel. Make sure you provide visual examples of content creation, like how you film, how you edit, how you do voiceovers, etc. If you happen to be a music artist, show music creation process and your collaboration. So just show how you go about making music. Now to submit your video, you need to sign into YouTube Studio, upload the video as unlisted, as mentioned before, and copy that URL. Get that URL. Now go to the Earn tab in your channel monetization and click Start Appeal Process and put that video URL in and click Submit. That will tell them where to go and look for your video appeal. Now earlier we mentioned the alternative way of appealing is to go through creator support. Now normally what you would do is do the following. Sign into YouTube Studio on desktop, go to the Earn tab on your channel monetization, see the option that says Appeal and click the Start Appeal to begin. Now I advise you highly to do the video option because it is irrefutable evidence that you are the original creator of the content and shows your video making process, which they have a lack of understanding of, which if in particular to reuse content, that is highly applicable. Where possible, do the video appeal, show those things that they're asking for, and get your appeal in a timely manner. Now, if for some reason that appeal button is not in the Earn area of YouTube Studio, then you need to reach out using the provided contact link, which is in the actual article that I linked up. So you can find that there. It's not a simple URL I can share. So if you go through the help article on this matter, there is a link that you can click that takes you to an alternative way to appeal. Now, what else can you do that's over and above these basic appeal processes? Make sure, first of all, that your priority is to do that proper appeal. If it doesn't look like you're going to get any joy from YouTube, then think about reaching out to Team YouTube on X or Twitter, as we say. It says @Team YouTube. Sometimes you can get them to get a little bit more attention. Now, in the case of Cali Planes, I've actually watched Cali Planes before. I understood the content because I watched channels in the same niche, and I have watched Cali Planes before. And so when I heard about Sal and Cali Planes and having this issue, I immediately understood what was going on and knew that YouTube had removed them in error because I knew exactly what type of content they're making. So when it comes to another channel approaching me for something similar to this, I would basically firstly refer you to everything we've talked about in this video, primarily and first of all. So if you have more questions about that and you just want to ask me, drop that in the comments below. Alternatively, if you haven't watched the earlier video about YouTube's updates of their reuse content policy where they revamped the explanation so that people have greater understanding of what it is, then you can check this video out here. And in the meantime, this is Doug, and I'll catch you later.